Hello, Joan. I'm Nadia. I'm Samir's old friend. We've met a few times. Do you remember me? Oh, hi, Nadia. I believe you came to our wedding, right? And I think I remember you coming over once to see our new house, too. You and Samir grew up together, right? He's known you since elementary school, if I recall correctly. Yep, all the way up until we went off to different colleges. I lived only 3 houses down from him in a townhouse complex, so we were always together. I'm so happy you remember me. Is there something I can help you with? Actually, I just messaged you because I have something important I want to tell you. Something important? You're having a celebration soon, right? I just wanted to tell you that it was all my idea. That's it. That's all I wanted to tell you. I'm not sure I follow. I have a celebration. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Huh? Did Samir not tell you yet? Samir told me you guys were going to have a little celebration for it. He hasn't mentioned any kind of celebration to me. As far as I know, nobody's birthday's coming up, and I don't think anyone's getting married either. What kind of celebration was he talking about? No, nothing like that. The exact opposite, actually. The exact opposite of what? The opposite of a wedding celebration. A divorce ceremony. A what? A divorce ceremony. I've never heard of such a thing. And who the heck is getting divorced anyway? Well, obviously you and Samir are. Samir and I. Divorce. I just happened to be watching something on TV. I forget where in the world it was, but they had divorce ceremonies. They were just like weddings where lots of people come and give you presents and money and there's a big party after, except it was for people getting divorced. I told Samir about it and he thought it was a pretty cool idea. So he decided to have one for you guys. Wait, what are you talking about? Samir wants to divorce me and have a divorce ceremony / party for it. He's never mentioned anything about any of that to me. We're not even fighting. Nobody is considering divorce. That's what you think. What do you mean that's what I think? We've got no reason to get divorced. You've got at least one. In order for Samir to marry me, he's got to divorce you first. Otherwise, it can't happen. Marry you. Samir and I have been friends since we were kids, and we even tried dating long ago, but it didn't work out. Then Samir went off to work for a company way over there in Kansas, and we never saw each other anymore. That is until he invited me to your wedding. I don't know much about your old fling with him, but I know he invited you to our wedding. He said it was only because he'd known you for so long, and because he thought you might like to come. Yeah, and we saw each other at the wedding, but we didn't get much time to chat because he was with you most of the time. But then we had that high school reunion not too long ago. Samir and I had lots of time to talk then, seeing as you couldn't make it. Things went really well, and let's just say the sparks were rekindled. And since the reunion was so far away from where you two live, he stayed 3 nights over here. I know he spent the long weekend in his hometown, but he said he was staying at his parents' house then. That might have been his plan when he left, but I can assure you that he wasn't staying at his parents' house after we met again at the reunion. He was with me that night and every night after. He was with you. And after that, when he left and went back to where he is now, we still kept in touch. And last month, I moved. Now I live near you guys. So Samir has been spending a lot of time with me recently. We've been so happy together. But no matter how much time we spend with each other, it never seems like enough. So I figured it'd just be better if Samir and I got married. That's why I suggested he have a divorce ceremony. Hold on a second here. Are you saying he's been cheating on me? Ding, ding, ding. Give the lady her prize. But I wouldn't really call it cheating, seeing as I'm his true love. So, when do you think the best time to have the divorce ceremony would be? Just leave the place up to me. I'll find a nice place to have it. I'm really good at things like that. Hold on there. Don't get ahead of yourself. It's not that easy to get divorced. And I'm not going to run off and divorce my husband this second just based off what you said. But if you don't do it right away, it's going to cause problems for me. I'm already in my 30s. I want to marry Samir as fast as I can. Let me talk to Samir about all this. Okay, I'll wait for you to talk to Samir. I'm not lying about any of this, so it shouldn't take you long. Samir, Nadia just messaged me. She said you're cheating on me with her. And something about you planning a divorce ceremony for us? What the heck is she talking about? You better explain this to me right now.
Nadia told you already. She just mentioned that thing about the divorce ceremony to me yesterday. She's really on top of this. I feel like she's tripping over herself trying to get this done. But then again, it's kind of cute the way she's so excited about all this. She's so sweet.
Samir? Does this mean you really are cheating on me?
Nadia told you already, didn't she?
I know ever since that high school reunion you've been on your phone a lot more than usual. And I thought it was strange you put the passcode on your phone too. And from last month you have been away from home a lot more than usual. I thought it was all a little strange, but I never thought it was this.
Yeah, last month Nadia moved all the way here to be close to me. I mean, to be with me.
To be with you.
Yeah, I want to marry her. So let's do it. Let's get divorced.
Hold on.
Joan, don't make this difficult for me. I'll get a divorce lawyer if I have to. But that's just gonna drag out the process and cost you a lot more money in the long run. And it's not gonna change the outcome.
What the heck is this about a divorce ceremony? How irresponsible or stupid are you even to suggest that? And what about Ali?
That's not an issue. I don't care about him. I'll give you full custody. I don't think I could get custody anyway, so it's basically a non-issue. And it's not like I really have any feelings for him either. There's always been something a bit strange about him.
How could you say that? I thought we were a family.
I want to start my own family with Nadia.
Everything's about you, isn't it? I have no say in any of this, do I? You went off and cheated on me. You decided we're getting divorced. You decided you don't want me or Allie. And you decided you're having a divorce ceremony?
Stop calling it a ceremony. It's not like that. It's more of a party, like the reception that takes place after the wedding.
Oh, whatever. That's even worse, actually. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is, do you not feel any shame for anything you're doing?
No, none of it's my fault. This is all fate's doing. Blame fate if you want to blame something. I realized you're not the one for me. What else can I say? My only regret in all of this is marrying you in the first place.
Fine. I get it. I can see you don't care about us. You've made that clear.
So, in that case, when can we have the divorce party? If it's possible, I want to be able to marry Nadia on the anniversary of when we first met. Well, the details aren't important, but let's just say that date isn't far off. That means I want to get divorced ASAP.
We're not having a divorce party. We'll sign the divorce papers and hand them in. That's all.
But doesn't a divorce party sound like fun?
What the heck would be fun about having a party to celebrate my husband cheating on me and turning his back on his family?
But it'll show everyone that we're leaving each other on good terms, right?
But we're not. And what do you mean it'll show everyone? You were planning on inviting a bunch of people?
Of course. What did you think? I said it'd be like a wedding reception. We have to invite a bunch of people. They'll give us cash and presents just like at a wedding. The bigger the party, the more money we'll get. Doesn't that sound like a good idea? If we did that, I'd pretty much cover all the alimony I'll have to pay you.
You think you're gonna get our friends and family to cover the alimony you have to pay me? You can't be serious.
I'm not stupid. You're planning on suing me and Nadia for cheating on you, aren't you?
You're damn right I am. You ruined our family. I have every right to sue you for that.
That's why we should have this party. If our friends pay most of it for me, it'll make my life easier. And if they do that, you'll be guaranteed to get your money. It's win-win, isn't it?
That's disgusting. I'm against it. We're not having a divorce party. If you want to have a ceremony or a party that bad, save it for your new wedding ceremony.
You're right. We'll definitely get money and presents for a wedding. That should help a little bit at least. I'll have Nadia start looking for a place to have her wedding right away. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be staying with Nadia for the time being. I want you guys out of my house within a week. Go get some divorce papers from City Hall. Sign them and leave them on the coffee table for me. When you guys have left, I'll sign them and hand them in. That way, we don't have to meet again. Goodbye.
Thanks for agreeing to the divorce. Don't mention it. Thanks for telling me that Samir was cheating. Don't worry about Samir. He's gonna be really happy with me. He's in good hands. And I'll be just as good of a mother as you were. So tell Allie he's got nothing to worry about when he starts living with me. I'm really good at cooking too. He'll love my food. I'll be a great wife and a great mom.
Huh? Allie, living with you. What the heck are you talking about?
No, what the heck are you talking about? What did you think was going to happen? Oh, I get it. It's because you're stupid. I heard you didn't go to college. Samir told me all about you. He said it takes a while for your brain to register anything.
He said that, huh?
Yeah, but anyway, I'm a nice person, so I'll spell it out for you. I'm going to be Allie's new mom.
Hold on a minute there. Samir said he didn't want custody, and that is exactly what I put in the divorce papers. Allie is staying with me.
But I'm here.
So what?
I know Allie goes to a private elementary school.
Samir told you that too, huh?
Yep, and I've heard about that private school. It's super elite. It's really hard to get into. The kids that go there are super smart, aren't they? Allie must be a genius. That's why I want him. People will be so amazed when I tell them my son goes to that school.
That's a terrible reason to want my child.
But Samir works for a really big company and makes lots of money. That's the only reason you can afford to send Allie to that school. And from what I've heard, Allie's getting great grades even at that school. I used to watch a drama on TV about a rich family that had a genius kid. I always wanted a husband and a child like that.
You're not getting my son.
Joan, be realistic here. Right now, his choices are to have a stupid idiot who didn't go to college to be his mom, or for me to be his mom, a college graduate. Which do you think is better for the child? I'm obviously the better choice.
I gave you and Samir the divorce you wanted. But if you even try to take my son from me, I'll fight you to the bitter end. So you better get ready.
Samir is a great man. That boy has his father's genes, so I want him. Allie's destined for something great too.
Allie is my child.
Be realistic. You're at home all day. You're a housewife. How are you going to afford to keep sending him to that expensive private school? You want him to stay in private schools until he goes to university, don't you? How much do you think that's going to cost? You couldn't even afford to keep him in that school for one more year without Samir's salary. Think about your son. He's Samir's son, and you've got no money. We'll beat you in court, hands down.
My son is not Samir's child, so you'll never beat me in court.
What did you say?
Do the calculations yourself. My son is 9 right now. I married Samir 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You're the great college graduate, so I think you'd remember. Samir and I talked about how we met during our toast at our wedding reception. He told everyone how we'd met 2 years before that and fallen in love. We've been married for 4 years, and we met 2 years before we got married. 4 plus 2 is 6. That means my 9-year-old son was born before I even met Samir. You'd think a college graduate could add single-digit numbers together, but I guess not. That means my son doesn't have Samir's genes. Thank God.
Then whose kid is it?
My former husband's.
Former husband?
After I gave birth to Allie, my husband got into a car accident and he didn't make it. It was after that I met Samir and married him.
So you're saying Samir isn't related to Allie at all?
That's right. And it seems that might be why Samir doesn't care about him and didn't want to even try get parental rights in the divorce. It looks like he never had any feelings for him at all.
If he's not Samir's kid, I don't want him.
Good, because you're not getting him.
But if Samir's gone, you'll never be able to keep sending him to that school. You'll never be able to afford it. That means his talents will go to waste and he'll never be anything. You're gonna have to work your butt off if you don't want that to happen. Good luck with that. Hi, Joan. It's been a while, hasn't it? So how is everything? Did you have to take Allie out of that school because you're jobless and too poor to afford rent, let alone his tuition?
What are you talking about? I got all that money from both you and Samir in that lawsuit. I'm not having any problems affording anything.
Yeah, right. Well, anyway, with Samir and his talents working for that huge company, bringing in the big bucks, that money we had to pay you was nothing. That was just pocket change compared to Samir's annual salary. And I know what you got from us won't go very far. I bet Allie's tuition is 10 times as much as the rent you pay for whatever roach motel you moved into, isn't it?
Nadia, is there a reason you messaged me? I've divorced Samir and the lawsuits are all settled. There's no reason you ever need to contact me again.
I just wanted to say that I married Samir. We signed the papers already, but we're having a ceremony too. Samir's been trying to find a good place to have the wedding for a while now. It's been the only thing on his mind.
He can't stop thinking about the wedding. And that's how much he loves me.
Let me guess. He's having the wedding in hopes of getting lots of presents and cash to cover what he had to give me in the divorce, huh? What an idiot. I doubt he'll even get enough to cover the cost of the whole wedding, let alone the divorce.
We want lots of people to come. That's why we're thinking about inviting you.
No thanks. I'm busy that day, so I can't make it.
I haven't even told you when it is yet. And we've got a big announcement we're saving for the wedding, so you better come. And I think $1,000 in cash would be a nice wedding present to give us.
$1,000. I don't like either of you, and I couldn't care less about your wedding. Does that tell you how much you can expect from me?
But it's not just our wedding we want to celebrate. I'm pregnant too.
Pregnant? You?
Oh, darn, I didn't mean to tell you that. That was supposed to be our announcement at the wedding. Well, it was bound to slip out sooner or later. We're just so happy about everything. Whatever, I'll tell you now officially. I'm pregnant! Samir is the father, so my baby's gonna have the best genes. I bet our baby will grow up to be a doctor, or maybe even the president.
Great genes. From that unemployed loser.
Huh? What do you mean, unemployed loser? Who are you talking about?
What's this? Are you saying Samir hasn't told you yet?
Told me what?
Samir was fired. He doesn't have a job. He's unemployed.
Fired!
Because he pissed off the owner of the huge company he was working for. Not to mention his boss and a bunch of other employees. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
He made the owner angry? How is that even possible? What did Samir do? Samir is a talented man. He'd never make a mistake at work. There's no way he'd get fired. You're lying.
Well, he married the owner's daughter and then cheated on her and announced he never had any feelings for the boy he was supposed to be fathering for all those years. That's enough to make the owner angry, don't you think?
Huh? He married the owner's daughter. You.
I don't like people knowing that, so it's not something I go out of my way to advertise to everyone. But yes, my dad owns the company Samir was working for, and Samir's direct superior was actually my brother.
Hold on. What? You're the owner's daughter, and Samir's boss was your brother.
I bet you thought Samir was going to keep working at that company after he divorced me, huh? You thought nothing was going to change, didn't you?
So he got fired because he cheated on his wife. That's illegal. I'll have him take your dad to court for this.
You've got it wrong. That's not the reason he was fired. On the contrary, the only reason my dad didn't fire him earlier was because he was married to me. You want to know why he got fired? The company caught him stealing.
What? Stealing?
We even found out Samir had been using his status of being my husband and threatened some of the other employees, saying he'd get them fired if they didn't do what he told them to do. But as for the stealing, he was taking office items and equipment without permission and giving it to his friends. They even found out he stole a bunch of the company's sample products to give to you as presents.
What are you talking about? All those presents he gave me were stolen. I know he said he got them from work, but he told me that getting all those things was just one of the perks of his job.
Even if all that wasn't enough to get Samir fired, Samir just plain wasn't good at his job. He was working at one of my dad's rival companies back when I married him. My dad decided it would be better to have Samir work for him instead of his rival company now that he was part of the family. So, because of that, Samir started working for my dad. Little did any of us know, Samir was quite the screw-up. That's why he was eventually assigned to my brother's department, so my brother could keep a close eye on him. They couldn't trust him with anything important, so Samir was just doing menial tasks, and even those took him forever to do.
What do you mean he's a screw-up and he's not good at his job? Samir is an elite businessman. He's been telling me that for so long.
I don't know what he told you, but he only got that job because he married me. Samir isn't very bright, and he's lazier than lazy.
This can't be.
Samir only had that position because he was part of the family. He couldn't follow the simplest instructions at work or even abide by the most basic policies. It was after I told my dad that he cheated on me that they decided to do a closer investigation on him at work. They wanted to fire him, but they also wanted to make sure they had grounds to do it, so that it wouldn't blow up in their face. But their investigation turned up more than they had ever imagined. That's when they found out about all the theft and bullying of other employees. That's why Samir was fired. He's not getting any severance pay from the company because he was fired for theft. And that means he won't be eligible for unemployment either. I'm glad we investigated him. It saved my dad's company a bunch of money in severance pay.
If he doesn't have a job and he's not getting severance pay and he's not eligible for unemployment, how is he paying for everything right now?
Probably the same way he paid me for all the fees associated with the divorce. I'm assuming he used up every penny of his savings and now he's just racking up debt.
Debt?
If you're at home right now, I'd suggest you go into his study and take a look at that huge hardcover dictionary he keeps on the shelf, the one that looks like it's 50 years old. It's not a real dictionary. It's hollowed out. He uses it to hide things. He's likely keeping all the documents he doesn't want you to find in there.
I can't believe this. There's a document showing he opened a huge line of credit at the bank by using this house for collateral. That document was recent too. He never told me about that. How is this possible? He's been leaving the house every morning wearing a suit. And he comes home at the same time every night? How can he not be working?
He's probably just doing it for show, so you don't get suspicious. Or he could just be going down to the temp agency every day doing random jobs here and there, like a day laborer.
Temp agency, as in temporary jobs. My husband, Samir, an elite businessman, working as a day laborer?
How many times do I have to tell you? Samir isn't an elite businessman. An elite screw-up maybe, but not a businessman.
This can't be. He worked for a great company. He was sending his son to an elite private school. He told me he was an executive. He told me he was rich.
Samir only had that job because it's my dad's company and Samir was married to me. And that's my son, not his. And I'm the one paying for him to go to that private school. All Samir is a poor excuse for a man who cheats on his wife and betrays his family.
He wasn't even paying Allie's tuition?
I know it probably looks like I'm a homemaker. But the fact is I work at my dad's company. I work remotely from my home office. I'm my dad's executive assistant. I handle his entire schedule and make sure everything runs smoothly for him. With the amount of money I make in a year, I have no problem sending my son to that school. Samir wasn't making much working for my dad because he's not good at anything.
But you never graduated college.
So what's your point? Neither did Samir.
Samir did too. He's a college graduate. He has a degree. He told me so himself.
He's told you a lot of things, hasn't he? But none of them seem to be true. Has Samir ever actually showed you his degree? He never graduated.
Huh? I know he went to college. Are you saying he dropped out?
That's right. If it's any consolation, he lied to me about graduating college too. It wasn't until during this whole fiasco with the investigation at work that we found this all out. The company did some background checking on him and found out he lied on his resume too. He never finished college and he doesn't have that degree. I think that alone would have been enough to get him fired.
He's a college dropout. He doesn't have a degree. He's not an elite businessman. You are the one making all the money in the family?
Now Samir's not making any money. He's just a guy who cheats on his wife and has a huge debt.
This isn't what I wanted. He was supposed to be the rich man of my dreams, and we were supposed to have a genius child.
Are we done here? I'm pretty busy with work right now. If you don't believe me and you want to know the truth for sure, how about you swing by the temp agency? Samir's probably there if he's not at home with you.
This isn't what was supposed to happen. I don't want a man that's in debt. You can have him. I'll give him back. How about this? You can have Samir back, and then you can pay me back the money I had to pay you.
That's not going to be happening. And besides, you're having that big wedding with Samir, remember? Have fun planning that. Weddings aren't cheap. And in case it wasn't clear before, I won't be going.
We can't have a wedding if this is all true.
Well, Samir and I did get lots of money and presents for our wedding. Of course, that was because a lot of the people from my dad's company were invited, because they know me and my family, seeing as we all work there. Having said that, we got enough money to cover about 80% of the wedding. That's about the best anyone could ever hope for, and I doubt anyone from my dad's company will be going to your wedding. I don't know why you and Samir think you can get rich off having a wedding. It doesn't work like that. But have fun trying.
I don't want to be in debt. At least help me get Samir to call off the wedding ceremony. We don't need a ceremony. We've already signed the papers. I don't want to start my marriage off in debt.
I think you're too late for that.
Joan, please. I'm sorry for everything. Help me out of this. What should I do? Joan, are you still there? Joan! This wasn't what was supposed to happen.
In the end, Nadia wasn't able to get Samir to call off the wedding. He was convinced he could make money off of it if he invited enough people. But of course, the majority of people who were invited turned down the invitation, and barely anyone showed up. Samir and Nadia lost a lot of money on the whole thing. Needless to say, that only compounded their debt problem. This pretty much made Nadia give up on Samir altogether, and once her child was born, she took it and ran away from Samir. But because Nadia's parents were furious with her for breaking up a family for a guy she didn't even want, they wouldn't let her move back home with them. I don't know where she is right now, but it must be hard for her raising a newborn baby on her own with no money. As for Samir, because he can't find work, his debt is going to continue to pile up until his line of credit is maxed out. At which point I'm sure the bank will have to take his house from him. I think he's aware of this because from what I've heard, he's trying to find Nadia in hopes of moving in with her.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please press the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Katie. We'll be living together from tomorrow, right? Hi there, Avery. It's been a while. I think all of my things that I mailed should have arrived by now. I'll do my best to make it seem like I'm not even there, so don't worry. I'll make sure to hold you to that. But I'm not holding my breath. This is just what we needed. Some waste of space to get in the way. I can hardly wait. Is something wrong, Avery? Look, before you get here tomorrow, we need to talk. I'm not looking forward to this in the slightest. How many weeks minimum are we looking at here? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? My parents may be willing to let you stay for however long you need to, but I am not my parents. I don't want you living with us any longer than the absolute bare minimum. Well, honestly, at the moment, I haven't got a solid time frame for how long I'll be staying with you. I know that might sound bad, but it's really upsetting that you aren't looking forward to being able to see me more. Please tell me you're joking. So you're just going to be here indefinitely then? Is that what you're saying? I don't need anyone else taking up space. Why would I want to live with anyone other than my immediate family? You shouldn't say things like that, Avery. That's really hurtful. I am your mother's sister, after all. Aren't I family too? It's not like we're total strangers. Cut it out! I don't want to hear that. I don't want to even think about being related to someone as pathetic as you. Where are all of these awful things coming from? Pathetic? Waste of space? There's no reason you should ever say something so rude about your family members. Are you joking? Do you lack any semblance of self-awareness? Maybe our brain has just stopped working? You are taking things too far, Avery. This whole situation isn't as big of a deal as you are making it out to be. I've heard everything from my mother already. You're unemployed right now, aren't you? Collecting unemployment or something? So there's basically nothing you can do for my parents. You're totally unreliable. And now you're just going to try and squeeze into my parents' tiny house because you can't take care of yourself. You really are such a pathetic old woman. Is that so? Your mother told you about my whole situation already? Of course she did. Both my mom and dad tell me everything. They would never keep something from me, especially not something like this. I know all about how you're unemployed and haven't got a cent to your name. I see. I never realized they were so open and honest with you about everything. May I ask you one thing then? Yes, you are right that I am not currently employed. But you know, I could just as easily say the same thing for you, right? What are you getting at? You aren't the only one who's close with your mom, you know. You've come up in a few of our conversations. I know that since you graduated from university last year, you've had a bit of trouble finding work. You've been at home since then, right? I think you could be a little more sympathetic of my situation. What? Are you trying to compare us? We are not at all the same. Our situations are completely different. I'm deliberately not working. Don't compare me to you. We are not in the same boat. Are you sure about that? We are both unemployed. Am I missing something? You absolutely are missing something. We are totally different. I am waiting for the perfect job, and I won't settle for any less. Unlike you aren't getting accepted to any jobs, even if you want to work for them. How can you compare your pathetic situation to mine? I am nothing like you. I think we have more in common than you realize. As if you talk to my mom so much, I bet she's told you about how well I did in school. And not just from any old school, too. I graduated from an Ivy League school. You wish that you were as accomplished as me? That is very impressive, Avery. I'm proud of you, but you still haven't found a job.
I already told you it's by choice. I won't settle for less than perfect. Why would I lower myself to work for some garbage company when I could work for the best? So of course I'm not working. I told you we are not the same.
I don't know. It sounds to me like we are more similar than you think.
Stop trying to compare us. I can't think of anything worse than being like you. You're unemployed and basically homeless. Not to mention still unmarried. You're grasping at straws trying to compare the two of us. I can't believe I'm going to have to live with a parasite of an aunt.
Excuse me? A parasite?
That's what I said. I finally found the perfect word to describe you. You really think you can get by having my parents take care of you? You're so pathetic, it's almost too much.
Do you not realize how horrible it is to say things like that? How could you say something so awful to your family? You shouldn't treat your elders like that. Or anyone, for that matter. You know your mother raised you better than that.
You're not my elder, just a leech. And if it's so hard for you to hear the truth, you should find a job quickly and move back out on your own. Don't forget that from tomorrow, you aren't living in your own home anymore. It's my parents' house.
Rebecca, do you have a moment? I don't mean to sound so blunt, but what in the world have you been telling Avery about me? What do you mean? What happened? The way Avery views me, she thinks I'm practically stealing from you. She told me that I'm a pitiful, unemployed homeless woman. She even went as far to call me a parasite. Is this because of something you've told her? Do you see me this way? Please be honest with me. I want to understand the situation. She said what? Yes, all of that came directly from her. What exactly have you been telling her about me? And how? She thinks I'm mooching off of the both of you because I'm unemployed. Oh gosh. Now hang on just a second. You've got it all wrong, sis. I don't know what exactly she told you, but I think maybe there's some misunderstanding. Then will you please explain to me already what you've told her? I may not be working at the moment, but you know the extent of my situation. I already told you I'd be starting my new position in about 6 months. You didn't forget, did you? Of course I remember. Then why would you tell Avery that I'm unemployed and totally broke? Who exactly is struggling with money again? Yes, I know. But we haven't been able to tell Avery the truth about our situation. It's really difficult to break something like that to Avery. That both her parents lost their jobs. How could we tell her? There it is. I wanted to be wrong, but I figured that this was what happened. If we told Avery something like that, it would be awful. I can't imagine how stressed she would be if she knew we were both unemployed now. Avery is so sensitive compared to other girls. She would be so upset. We couldn't possibly bring that kind of stress on her. That's why we want to be extra careful to make sure she's okay. It's not that we want to hide the truth from her. We are just protecting her. Sensitive? That's the last word I would use to describe a girl who calls someone else a parasite. Because she's sensitive sometimes, she can be a little bit harsh. But I know she doesn't mean to be. And what about her career? She still hasn't found anything yet, but is content with calling someone else in a similar situation as herself a parasite? People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. From what she told me, it seems like she is barely even looking for a job. What are you saying? We may be in a bit of a difficult situation at the moment, but we would never force her to do something she doesn't want to. Like getting a job? Is that really so awful? If she were to end up at a company that she didn't like, we would be responsible. We don't want to put that kind of burden on our poor daughter. We have to make sure she gets the right job that she will be comfortable with. If she were just another mindless drone at an awful company, it would be such a miserable life for her. She deserves so much better than that. I see. So her behavior is your fault then. You've done nothing but spoil her all her life. Our fault? Why are you trying to place blame over nothing? You've never had a child, Katie. You don't know what it's like to be a parent. I don't want to be criticized on how I raise my daughter. Hasn't it already been 2 years since she graduated from university? Don't you think that it's about time that she started working somewhere? It isn't normal to wait so long. She claims to want to find a company that is suitable, but it's just an excuse, Rebecca. She isn't trying at all. Don't say things like that. I know she is trying very hard to find work. I told you, she's very sensitive and she's also shy. It's hard for her to really bring out her potential. I know she'll find the perfect job soon enough. Then she'll really be able to grow and develop her career. She did such a wonderful job in school. I'm confident she'll get a great job at a reputable company in no time at all. That's all well and good, sure. But I don't know how long I'll be able to live with that attitude of hers. I am a patient woman, but I also have my limits. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Of course I understand, Katie. You don't need to worry. But please don't say anything unnecessary to Avery. I don't want her to be stressed about anything. My husband and I will make sure to explain everything to her. I promise. I'm counting on that, Rebecca. I don't ever want that girl to call me a parasite again.
Good morning, you miserable parasites. So you're finally decided on when you were moving out? It took you long enough.
You have gotten so much worse. Why do you keep acting like this? And how many times have I asked you not to call me that? You need to stop. It's so rude and irritating.
I'm just telling it how it is. I'm not being rude. You've been living off my parents' kindness for weeks now.
Is that what you think?
You don't even do anything. You've just been leeching off my family. Words can't express how happy I am that you will finally be leaving. All of those cardboard boxes piling up in the hallway. It's such a wonderful thing to see. It's all of your garbage getting ready to go.
I've been packing up some things here and there, yes.
Even someone as pathetic as you could finally find work. I thought it would never end. But the happy news is here. Just make sure that you keep your job this time around. Next time you lose your job, I'm going to make sure my parents don't let you come back.
How about you, Avery? Do you have any leads on a job? Any progress there? Still haven't made a decision, have you? If you don't hurry up, that'll be almost 3 years you haven't had any work. Applications don't send themselves.
Haven't I already explained this to you? I'm waiting for the perfect job that suits me. I won't settle for less. There's no reason to waste my potential.
You have explained it before. You always say the same thing, too. I'm starting to think that you don't have any potential to waste.
Excuse me? Of course I have potential. Unlike you, I went to a great school. That's why it's so hard to find something suitable to my standards. It really is so troublesome looking for a job when you're as high value as I am. To think I could have ended up as mediocre as you if I didn't have such a great education.
Mediocre?
That's right, mediocre. You don't really have any standards. Just being hired was enough for you, so it's not like you had to think very hard about it or make any big decisions. In my case, I have so much more to provide for a company. It's a chore finding something even close to suitable for me.
You must be so proud of yourself. But that top-of-the-line school that you went to really isn't pulling through for you in terms of employment.
You are such an annoying leech. Will you finish packing your things and get out already?
You're going to need to pack up your stuff pretty soon as well.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm not the one that's a parasite. Hurry up and get started with the packing. Take those boxes in the hallway with you when you leave, too.
And why would I need any of your things?
Who said they were my things? Everything that's packed up in boxes in the hallway, it's not mine. Those are all your mother and father's things.
What?
My patience with you has worn thin. I've already told your mother everything. You've got till the end of the month to move out.
What are you talking about?
Do I need to say it again? Don't waste any more time. Your mother and father have already started preparing. You need to get to packing the rest of your things.
You aren't making any sense. What is this all about? Why do we need to leave our own house?
Because I don't need any parasites in my home. The sooner you leave, the sooner I get some peace.
Your house?
Yes, my house. Go on then, get to packing. I'm fed up with you and both your parents. I don't want to see any of you in my house again.
Wait just a minute. What do you mean, your house? This isn't your house. This is my parents' house. My parents bought this house 5 years ago.
Maybe that's the impression you've been under, but that's unfortunately not the case. The reality is, it's my house, not your parents'. I'm the one who bought the house 5 years ago.
What? You bought the house?
I did. Even though I have no desire to get married or start a family, I still wanted to settle down. So I went ahead and made the decision to buy the house several years ago. Unfortunately, my company needed me to do some assignments overseas. In my absence, your parents have been taking care of the house for me.
There's no way. My parents never told me about this before. Why am I only hearing about it now from you?
I'm sure there are a lot of things your parents haven't told you about. It wasn't long after I bought it that your parents had moved in. It seems like your parents really took a liking to the place. They decided to look for a home similar to mine and look for new jobs along with it. It's great to have goals, but it won't get you very far if you don't plan accordingly. I don't know why they decided to quit their jobs before finding new ones. Maybe they thought that it wouldn't take long to find new work. Too bad it didn't work out like that. The only jobs they could find were worse than their previous ones. That's why your parents are still unemployed.
Unemployed? There's no way. You're lying. My parents aren't unemployed. How could the both of them not be working?
It's true. They aren't. I'm sure you're shocked to hear that for the first time, too.
I can't believe this. But how long have my parents been unemployed?
That's a really good question. I think it has to be about 3 years by now. From what they've told me, I think that they've used almost all of their savings by now, even though they haven't been paying anything for my house. They were really banking on their outstanding and proud daughter to find a high-paying job. Their patience with you is admirable. Or maybe I should say misguided.
Are you serious?
Your parents had asked me to let them stay longer. I felt bad for them at first. I decided to let them continue living there even though I had come back. But their insufferable daughter really liked to test my patience. I tried to put up with it as long as I could.
I didn't know about this. I didn't know about any of this. I had no idea they weren't working. And that we don't even own the house we live in.
Your parents did a really good job of hiding reality from you, coddling and pampering you your whole life. But now it seems like you might need to step up and help them out.
Help out?
Good luck with job hunting. I know it's hard being such an overachiever. Maybe you can give your parents some advice on finding the perfect job. You have a lot of experience looking.
Aunt Katie, please help. Is there any way that you could let me live with you? There's so much that I could learn from you.
What's the problem, Avery?
I've been doing a lot of thinking. I think it's so cool that you work abroad. You're so independent, too. You don't care about getting married or anything. It's so great that you've been able to do so much all on your own. You live the kind of life that I want to live. That's why I want to live with you and learn how I can be like you.
What an incredible change of tune. After you called me a leech and a parasite how many times?
That was just a misunderstanding. But now that everything is all cleared up, it's fine, right? And I really respect you. So please let me live with you.
You don't have a job though, Avery. In what way would it benefit me to let you live with me?
I can show you my potential. I could even work at the same company as you.
Are you serious?
I can't be here anymore. My mom and dad have become so strict all of a sudden. They keep telling me what to do left and right and that I need to find a job as soon as possible. I don't want to live with them anymore. They told me that I need to take care of them.
Maybe that would be a good thing for you. With your top-notch degree, you should be able to find work. You could get a job anywhere and start making money.
Yes, you're right, but I don't want to work at a company that isn't right for me. I would be more than happy to work at the same company as you, though.
I promise you won't regret it. I'm a really hard worker. I can't believe how quickly you changed your mind. The place we're living in now is so cramped. And every day I'm at home, all I hear is my parents telling me to get a job. It's so annoying. I really don't want to be here anymore. I want to go back to living with you at your place. Well, it's very flattering that you want to live with me, and that you'd like to work at the same company as me. The normal process for being hired at any job is to apply and go through the interview process. That's fine. I won't have any trouble going through all of that. I'm your niece, after all. Oh? And on top of that, I went to a great school. You know that. I'm confident they'll hire me right away. I'll show you that I can be useful. I think that this will be just a huge burden on me. I don't think I want to take care of a parasite. Unlike your parents, I don't have nearly as big of a heart as they do. But anyway, good luck with everything. I'm sure you'll find a job soon enough. Wait, please. So does that mean that you'll hire me? You know that I'll do great. All right, then if you want to prove how great you are, how about you start applying to some jobs? Then once you've got a year of experience, I'll consider talking about step 2. What? That's right. You need to put in a bit of work. Then maybe I'll put in a good word for you. Maybe. What is this? I'm not just going to work for some other random company. Why are you making me jump through hoops? Because I haven't seen you put in any effort to get anything done. What do you mean? You really talk yourself up with how valuable you think you are. You have absolutely nothing to show for it. If you are all that you say you are, you'll figure things out. How can you say that to me? Like I said, time to put in a bit of effort. I expect to hear about all of your progress in a year. After our last conversation, I haven't heard anything from Avery. My sister mentioned that she and her husband would do their best to figure out their situation. She and her husband both started working whatever jobs they could find. They've also taken a more proactive role in helping Avery with finding a job. Unfortunately, their effort was wasted. Because of Avery's pride, she's been unable to get a job. It seems like they are going to make her attend the reunion for her graduating class in a last-ditch effort. Whether or not it'll help remains to be seen. But they are hoping that her lack of progress compared to her former classmates will encourage her to humble herself. Or she won't change at all and keep putting off employment. It's hard to say what will happen, but I'm sure her parents will keep up the pressure. Thank you for watching! If you enjoyed watching this video and you want to see more like it, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe.
Yo, come on, woman. You call this thing you made me lunch?
Excuse me?
There's no protein in here. You know I need my protein. And I'm talking about meat. Do you ever listen to me? I'm thinking not. Because I'm always telling you that I need to eat my carbs and protein or my macros get messed up. How many times have I told you this? This PB&J doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, but Kyle, we can't afford the way you want to eat. Do you not understand that?
What are you even talking about? I give you an allowance for food every single month so we can eat properly and the way I want to eat.
Are you kidding me? The $200 budget you give me every month for our groceries? Even if it was just the two of us, it's not enough. But we have a child, remember? Or did you forget that too? Plus, he's starting to eat a lot. I need you to give us a bigger budget for our food.
Are you kidding me? It's your job as a housewife to figure it out with the budget I give you. Being a housewife is the easiest thing ever, and you can't even do that properly. You don't even work.
I can't believe you're even saying this.
I married you to make my life easier, not harder. You're a complete failure as a wife. You can't budget, you don't listen, my lunches are garbage. You're useless.
I've been telling you I want to go work. I'd rather get Ethan a sitter after school and go to work so we can make a bit more money. I never told you I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom.
You really never listen to me, do you? Whatever I say just goes through one ear and out the other. There's no chance you're going to work. I've always said a wife's place is in the house taking care of the family. That's your job. I'm not letting you go work and abandon your household responsibilities. I mean, what's it going to look like to everyone? It's going to make me look bad.
People talk, you know.
You're worried about that? Who cares what it looks like? You only bring home a measly $1,500 a month.
You are beyond ungrateful. The nerve you have. I can't believe you're complaining about my salary, Michelle. You don't pay for anything. Mooching off of me and then telling me I'm not bringing home enough. You're a disgrace.
Obviously, I'm grateful that you are working for us. I'm also not complaining about your salary, but it's $1,500 a month. You have to agree with me that $1,500 for 3 people is tight. I just want you to recognize the reality we're in.
Recognize the reality? I'm living in it, aren't I? I'm providing more than enough for all of us. There should be way more than we need.
What are you talking about? Our child is going to a new school soon, and we have admissions and tuition to pay for. $1,500 a month isn't going to cut it. Let me help us. Let me go work.
No way. My mom said that my salary is more than enough for our family. If you think we don't have enough, then that's your issue. You're not budgeting properly and wasting it all on that stuff you use on your face.
Your mom? Are you kidding me? You're talking about your mom. Seriously. She's talking about 30 years ago when you were a kid. It's 2022 now. I should know because I do everything for the house. I do the shopping and make payments. Not your mom. The least you can do is listen to me.
Shut up. I can't take any more of your dumb whining and complaining. It's all I ever hear. Day in and day out.
Who are you calling dumb?
I'm talking about you. Who's not listening now? You're a housewife and you can't even take care of the house properly. If this were a company, I would have fired you a long time ago. You can't survive without my help or salary because you're dumb and lazy.
You think I twiddle my thumbs and chat with my friends on the phone all day? You have some nerve calling me dumb and lazy.
If you want me to stop calling you that, then learn something from my mom. Stop being so lazy and just shut up and be a good wife. Otherwise, you're just dumb and lazy to me. I have no use for anyone like that, especially my wife.
Hi, Michelle. I heard about your conversation with Kyle. I heard you said some things you just could never take back. He's very hurt, you know. What? Are you joking? He's saying that I said hurtful things? He's hurt. Of course you did. The nerve you have saying all those things to him when you're not even doing your part. I heard you told him he wasn't making enough money. Well, yeah, I did tell him that, but not in those exact words. How could you even say that? Unlike you, he is working his butt off to provide for you and my grandchild. You spend your day at home. That's not something you say to your husband. I did feel a bit bad after I said that. But the reality is that our family cannot survive on his current salary. What are you talking about? So please, Sandy, I'd appreciate it if you could talk to your son. He just doesn't listen to me. I'm not asking him to change anything. I'm asking him to let me go work so I can also help out financially. Of course that's not even an option. Why would you think that's an option? You need to be supporting your husband at home. That's your job. Supporting the family at home so Kyle can concentrate on work. You also shouldn't have to worry about the money. You let him worry about that part. Listen, Sandy, times are different now. Things are expensive now and not like it was back in the day. Taxes are higher, rents are higher. Both women and men work now, not just the husbands. Yeah, and so what? Kyle has a good, stable job. There's no reason for you to abandon your responsibilities and go find a job. That's a bit unfair. You know how much we get a month, right? After taxes and everything, it's $1,500 a month. Doesn't that worry you? Your grandson won't be able to get a good education. The issue isn't what Kyle brings home. The issue is your budgeting and spending. Of course! I am making every effort to keep our costs down. I'm only spending $200 a month on food. That's unheard of these days. What are you talking about? From where I'm sitting, it looks like there's a lot more you can do. You can learn a lot from me, you know, Michelle. I'm doing everything. I'm doing all this, and all you can say is there's a lot more I can do? Well, yeah, because there is. Kyle tells me everything, you know. Just the other day, he told me you went to the hair salon. Well, yeah. I can't cut it myself, so haircuts for all of us is a necessity. I only go once every 3 months when a lot of people go once a month. Yeah, and you go there, get pampered, and get your hair done. At the end, you pay them and also tip them. Well, yeah, that's what you do when you go to a salon. You get a service done and you pay them. That's how the economy works. Now, you listen to me. From now on, you're going to my sister's salon. She'll cut your hair for free. I will let her know you'll come by next time. I also heard you have expenses at the dentist as well. For our regular checkups and cleaning once every 6 months or so, yes. It's cheaper to go to the checkups than to have to get them fixed once it's too late. You should go to the dentist my cousin works at. He does their accounting for them. If you tell him you're my daughter-in-law, they should do it for free. And leave the food up to me. Our neighbor owns a farm. He has a ton of stuff left over that he can't distribute, so I will ask him to give us whatever he's getting rid of. I really don't need your help with that. Don't worry, just leave it all up to me. I also have a bunch of friends who own bakeries, cafes, and restaurants. I can ask them for all their leftovers they can't sell. You should be able to save a whole ton. I'm serious. I really don't need your help. I appreciate you offering your help, but we can handle this on our own. You don't want my help? Everything you just mentioned. The salon, the dentist, and all the food. This is all stuff we should be paying for, so it's all budgeted. Asking for everything for free from people just doesn't feel right. I really can't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't see what is wrong with any of it. We're just asking for a friends and family discount. Do you understand what budgeting means? It's about asking for help and getting as many things as possible for free whenever possible. It's as easy as that. Are you kidding me? Friends and family should never charge their friends and family. It's just plain wrong. You need to help each other. I don't think what you're asking me to do is called helping each other. It's totally fine. I don't understand why you're so worried about it. You just need to follow exactly what I've been doing and learn from the best. I've been doing this way longer than you have. Let me tell you something. Once, I saved over 30K in just 1 year. Can you believe it? 30K? In 1 year? That is pretty impressive. Okay, so we're on the same page now. I will contact everyone and get things in place. Just let me and everyone else help you. Your life will be much easier that way.
Yo, Michelle. My mom just called. She's sending us some boxes or something.
What? What boxes?
You're a complete failure when it comes to budgeting for the house. So she's asked all our friends and relatives for help and got a bunch of stuff for us. You should call her later and thank her.
Listen, can you please tell her to stop? I asked her not to do this. I told her we didn't need her help. She won't listen to me, but maybe she'll listen to you. So please just ask her to stop.
Why would we want her to stop helping us? Just because you can't ask people for help doesn't mean she shouldn't either. You should be grateful for her help. She's really gone out on a limb for us, you know, and everyone's willing to help out.
Grateful? Are you kidding me? Helping us out? This isn't called help. How are they supposed to say no to someone who is pushy and demanding?
What? Are you being serious?
Everyone else pays for everything. That's the normal and respectful thing to do. But asking for all of those things for free? We're completely disrespecting them and what they do. This isn't right at all. I don't want to accept any of that. So please, tell your mom to stop meddling.
Who are we disrespecting? I don't get it. This is called asking for help, and it's normal. People help each other all the time. Everything is going to waste anyway, so we're actually doing them a favor. You get it?
Did they ever say all of this was going to waste? I really don't think so. Your mom is going around telling them that everything is going to waste, so she will take them off of their hands.
See, this is where you and I are totally different. They're willingly giving it all to us for free. So why would we be disrespectful and throw it right back in their face?
You really don't get it, do you?
Anyway, I totally forgot to tell you. I found out that my friend's wife is a nail artist.
Yeah? And?
I told him about it. So you should give her a call and get her to do it for you for free. Isn't that awesome? You don't have to pay to get your nails done anymore.
Are you joking? You asked him to get his wife to do my nails for free?
Of course I did. Such a waste of money. Friends and family should always get a discount. So remind her of that when you're there.
What you're asking for isn't called a discount. You're just being rude. And squeezing everything out of everyone for whatever they've got? You don't do that to friends or family.
Man, you really don't get it, do you?
Please tell your friend and his wife that I won't be needing my nails done. If I do, I will call her and set up an appointment and pay her properly like everyone else does. Please also apologize for even asking them to do it for free. And let them know you shouldn't have.
Are you trying to make me look bad? I totally went out on a limb and made this happen for you. I thought you liked this sort of thing. I did this for you. You understand that, right? I really don't think you're in any position to tell me what to do. You're a total failure when it comes to being a good wife. You keep spending and can't even budget our finances properly.
Asking people to do things for free isn't budgeting either. It's just rude. You and your mom are so unbelievably selfish. I can't believe you two.
You have no right to complain about us. If you're going to continue being this difficult, then you should leave. Get out of my house. You're a total waste of my time and money.
Have you lost your mind?
You've always had this holier-than-thou attitude. Maybe you need to check yourself. Let me remind you, Michelle. You're just a housewife. The same as an unemployed slacker. Maybe getting thrown out will finally make you realize how good you had it.
Whatever you say.
Okay then, get out! Guaranteed you will regret it. You'll realize what a failure you are. Make sure you don't come back until you find some gratitude towards what I've provided for all these years. Michelle, you ready to come home? You better come home. Get home now!
Excuse me?
I'm sure you've learned your lesson by now. Stop being so stubborn and get your butt home now.
Learned my lesson? What lesson are you talking about? I'm not coming home, Kyle. I'm taking full custody of our child and I'm leaving you.
Oh, don't give me that crap. You both need to come home now. You've left such a mess over here. You need to get your butt back right now.
What? What mess?
Some of our friends and relatives have been cutting ties with me, telling me that if you left, they have no reason to stay friendly. They want nothing to do with me. They've all blocked me. One guy even came to the house and literally spat in my face.
Oh, wow.
What are you going around telling people? They all started dropping like flies, and I'm sure you had something to do with it. Otherwise, why would they treat us like this?
You really have no idea, do you? You two mooch off everything and everyone. You're like blood-sucking leeches. You dug your own deep grave and you're blaming me? I'm so not surprised.
Who are you calling a blood-sucking leech?
I haven't said a single thing to any of your friends. I have no relationship with any of your friends or relatives. The only time I spoke to them was when I went to pay them back for everything you two mooched off of everyone.
Wait a minute. What? You paid them back?
Yeah, of course I paid them back. The dentist, the hair salon, the relative that runs the restaurant, the farmer who gave us those amazing veggies. Oh, and your friend that owns the cafe. Your friend's wife, the nail technician. Everyone. I told you I didn't pay, but called them after and immediately went to pay them back. Do you know how time-consuming that was? All the while taking care of our child, 'cause you're never any help.
What? Why would you pay them for something they gave us for free? That's our right as friends and family. Things are free.
That's where you're wrong. You were forcing them to give us all that stuff for free. They weren't doing it out of the kindness of their hearts. How could they, when you were like this? When I went to pay them back, they were all so grateful. They all told me they had no idea why I was married to you and how I even dealt with your mom.
You're lying.
They also told me exactly the opposite of what you told me. They said that they told you no multiple times, but you kept pushing and pushing and pushing. When they wouldn't say yes and help you out, you just took whatever they had like thieves. They also all said that they didn't want anything to do with you, but they either see you at work or family events, So they didn't want to make it awkward.
They said that to you? Unbelievable.
You keep on saying friends and family, but are you serious? It's a one-way street with you two. You've never helped one of them when they needed your help. That's the textbook definition of mooching off of people. And you expected me to do the same? Are you kidding me? Embarrass myself like that? No, thank you.
You really have some nerve calling us that. Shut up with that nonsense.
You're the one who's talking nonsense. That's why people want nothing to do with you. You two have zero common sense or any sort of kindness or gratitude towards others. You're just beyond selfish.
No common sense. Selfish. No gratitude or kindness. Are you freaking kidding me? Unlike you, I don't take people's money for nothing.
Yeah, okay. Whatever you say. See ya.
Michelle! Kyle told me everything you said to him. He said you told everyone some blatant lie and now none of our friends or our relatives want anything to do with us.
Actually, that's not true at all. It's your own fault. You and your sons. You're just trying to blame your own faults on someone else. As always. They just couldn't take your mooching off of them any longer. They got tired of being bullied by you two.
Shut up, you useless piece of garbage! You need to undo what you did and make it right.
Well, I can't do anything about it because I didn't do anything. If you want to do something about it, why don't you go and apologize and start paying all of them for what they are worth?
Why would we pay them for something they offered us for free? It's just rude. Helping friends and family is a given. You help each other out.
I don't think what you're asking them to do is called helping each other out. If they gave you a service or a product, even if they are a friend or family, you're a customer. Maybe they might give you a slight discount, but paying them is the right thing to do. Not guilting them into giving you everything for free.
Don't talk to me like this. You've got a lot of nerve.
It's just the facts, Sandy. It's different if they insist on giving you something for free, but demanding you get it for free is beyond rude and on top of that, so disrespectful. I already told Kyle, but I will also tell you too for your own good. That's called mooching, and people in general don't like people who mooch off of them.
You're telling us we're mooching off of our own friends and family?
Well, yeah, that's exactly what you're doing, no?
You have no common sense whatsoever, do you?
Oh, and I forgot to tell you. I remembered you told me that you saved $30K in 1 year once. I'm assuming that was thanks to all your mooching off of friends and relatives. I thought they all deserved to know, because they were the ones that made it possible.
Why would you do that?
They all said that same thing since you saved so much. You may receive invoices from them for all the services and products you took from them. Oh, and someone also said that they were going to ask you to pay them back all the money they lent you in one big lump sum payment. They sounded serious.
Are you kidding me?
Apparently, I didn't know this, but you weren't just mooching off of them. You were also borrowing money from them too. They said you said family should never charge interest to family, nor should they expect the money back in a certain amount of time. Unbelievable.
That was...
If you believe that friends and family should really help each other out, then you should pay back each and every one of them. 'Cause in the end, that's all they want. They just want their money back. So you should really do that. Isn't that the right thing to do, Sandy?
Hi, Michelle. Please come home. Please. We've really thought about what we've done. We will never push anyone into giving us things for free ever again.
Yeah, I'm not coming home. It's all too late, really. There's no fixing anything.
You've always been so stubborn. In all seriousness, though, do you really want to be a single mom? I don't think so, right? You have no skills. No one will hire you. It's gonna be super hard on your own, so just come home. I'm not angry anymore. I've let it all go. So stop being stubborn and come back.
Actually, I have a job. I'm making as much as you are already.
What? No one told me this.
$1,500 a month isn't that hard to make, I realized. Even for a stay-at-home mom like me who hasn't been working for the past several years. Oh, and that's before my overtime, too.
There's no way you're making the same amount as I am. What a joke. Who would hire a useless housewife with no skills? There's no way anyone would hire you. It's such a waste of money.
Actually, I was surprised too. I got so many job offers.
What?
All your friends and family were so supportive. They all heard that I moved out, and I'm not really sure where they heard it from, but they called me immediately. They all said they were happy to hire me at their businesses. They also offered to refer me to different companies that were hiring as well.
What? I don't believe this. No one told me any of this.
I was just losing all my confidence and wasn't sure where to go. I'm so grateful for their help. They were giving me a chance to get back on my feet. So I decided to accept one of the offers. They were really so understanding of my situation, so they helped me get into their corporate housing until I get my feet back on the ground. Can you believe it? It's just me and Sarah, so it's super spacious and comfy too.
This is unbelievable.
I mean, don't get me wrong here. I haven't expected anything for free, and I've thanked each and every person that has helped me. I also realized that I have a lot more skills than I thought. I really didn't give myself enough credit. And my boss is so happy with me. They tell me all the time how grateful they are that they have me.
Who's your boss? Where are you working? Who referred you? I'm coming to get you now. Tell me your address.
Yeah, I'm not that dumb. I've decided that I want a divorce, so I'll get the process started. I really hope you don't make it difficult. My lawyers will send you everything to sign once everything is ready.
A divorce? There's no way I'm signing anything.
I'm not changing my mind. I've already saved some money and I'm happy. Sarah is happy too. I spoke to her about you not living with us anymore. She seemed fine with it. I can finally say that I'm happy and I can finally hold my head up high and stick up for myself.
You think it's that easy to just leave? If you think that, then you have another thing coming. A divorce? Are you joking me? You don't get to decide who leaves and when. Tell me your address now. I need to talk some sense into you. You've completely lost your mind.
Yeah, well, come find me if you can, because there's no way I'm giving you my address. And if you come to my work or home, I've made arrangements already. Everyone will be notified. They'll all come rushing over to help me out and to protect me from your madness.
You're being completely unreasonable.
Everyone has become such close friends and so protective over Sarah and I. They said if either one of you contact us or come near us to let them know ASAP. They said that they would help me get rid of you guys.
Why would our friends and relatives be on your side? You're nothing to them. This must be a joke.
Well, you should really think long and hard about that. Okay, so next weekend, there are a few final things I need to pick up from the house. So I'll be by with some friends to pick those all up. And from here on, my lawyers will be in touch to get the ball rolling on finalizing our divorce. Please tell your mom I said hello and that I wish her the best. The next weekend, I went over with a bunch of friends to get my stuff. I was able to get everything I needed. While we were there, Kyle's relatives showed up to deliver invoices for past services and products. They also demanded they all get the money they loaned his mom back as well. They wouldn't leave till they were paid, so his mom came by with all the money. Of course, they blamed me for all their savings disappearing at once. The lawyers got everything sorted for me, and Kyle finally signed the divorce papers. I recently heard that he lives with his mom now. Apparently, his mom is fed up with his measly $1,500 a month and keeps saying they can't do anything with that salary. I heard she's always angry at him and telling him to go make more money. They have no more friends or relatives to mooch off of anymore, so I heard they're living off of canned beans. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and send us a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.